I wish I could turn my brain off. Not in the sense of I don't want to use my brain, but more like there are just so many voices, most that aren't mine, and I need them to just like shh, STFU, please, please. What the title says: gasping for air, grasping for time, gasping for air. Like, just my mind feels so overactive right now. Like I said, so many voices, and it's kind of like when you have a bajillion tabs open on your computer, or maybe you're using that one website or that one software that makes your computer fan so much, and then what is the word, like, it just overload and it crashes when the application closes, the website closes, or your whole computer shuts down because it's too hot. That's how it feels like in my mind. I just want it all to be quiet. It's just other things that I have to do, need to do, the things that I feel like I need to do or should do, and then the things that I want to do. And it feels so suffocating. And I'm also just I'm so over words. I'm so over words. And here I am talking to the camera. But I just need a break and space from words, literally. And I was thinking about this earlier before therapy and how I was dreading therapy, but thankfully today ended up being my last session. Elaborating on that would be a whole different video. I'm just so over words because I was thinking about how I talk to the therapist, I talk to my friends, I talk to YouTube, I write in my journal. I write a lot in my journal. I write on Substack. Like, it's just words, words, words everywhere all the time. And then the voices in my head. Shut up! Shut up! I decided no more words, or like lessen the words, you know, and especially with like the talking with others. And I think resources like therapy and relationships can be beneficial, whether it is to vent, to ask for advice, to get other outside perspectives. But I think for me it becomes, for lack of a better word, dangerous territory when I start to hear others' insights, and when I just take others' insights and advice literally and apply that to my path. Like, I take their advice as instruction, and then things don't work because what works for someone else doesn't work for me. I just decided, well, I didn't just decide it, actually. I was going through my camera roll the other night when I was on the toilet, and I have this folder with my family's birth charts, our astrology birth charts, and I came across mine and I just stared at it. I also have mine printed in my wall right here, on my wall, taped on my wall right here in front of me. But anyways, I was on the toilet and I was staring at my chart, and I was like, this is my blueprint, this is my guide. Why am I trying to do things differently, or how other people are telling me what worked for them, or just literally just generic advice that you hear from like everywhere. I said, why am I trying to force myself to do those things? Because also I feel like when I do those things that, you know, have worked for other people, it's not just I'm doing things differently, I feel like I have to change who I am as a person. And yeah, I thought about how, like, when I try to force myself to do things differently, how other people have advised or that work for them, I end up just more confused and frustrated. That was another word. Let me see if I can find it. I don't want to look for it, but I think it was confused, frustrated, and anxious. Confused, frustrated, and anxious when I try to do things how other people are telling me to do them, because I feel like I have to change who I am, or just like those methods just do not align with me as a person. And I thought about how, you know, back like in the past when I just not totally ignored what people say, like obviously I would hear what people have to say and consider them, or just like, you know, take bits and pieces of what resonated. But when I followed my own gut, like quite literally walk to the beat of my own drum, things fall into place. And not immediately, but also just like I'm less confused. Well, no, I'm often confused. With uncertainty, it can be confusing. With the fog and the void, it's confusing. But I'm definitely less anxious. I'm a little bit frustrated, but I also just don't feel as heavy because I don't have to change who I am. Or at least I feel like I don't have to change who I am. I just decided I'm gonna walk to the beat of my own drum, because I haven't done that for a while. Because I've been trying to do like all these things that, you know, the people around me are telling me. It became so loud. It just became so loud, and it's just all these voices in my head, and I don't know how to distinguish what is mine. Well, actually I do. Most of the fear-based ones are not mine, but they're very loud. What did I write? I wrote that when I try to follow other people's advice to what worked for them, I end up more anxious and frustrated because I feel like I have to change who I am. But when I mind my own and follow what feels right, the voices shush and things eventually fall into place. So I won't be externalizing the answers anymore. The answers I seek, I probably most likely already carry within. And at this phase of my life, I don't really care to share updates or my plan with others anymore, because I just end up in more endless loops of over-explaining myself or defending my ideas when they haven't even actualized yet. So I'm gonna mind my own, my way. It all just has to make sense to me. And I think that is something that I needed to hear, or just remind myself that it has to make sense to me. Because when it doesn't make sense to other people, and they look at me like, I just end up over explaining. And some people, like, you know, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, grasping for time, that's another thing too. I just feel like this clock is ticking, you know, like all the voice in my head, I need to do this, I should do that, I want to do this, and then it's like tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. I already feel behind in life, and I know like behind is not a thing, but sometimes I just feel that way. Late bloomer things, it just feels like this race against the clock. I don't know if that makes sense. I think also just the stuff that I think about, the things occupying my mind, take a lot of time too, because I spend a lot of time thinking, like thinking about the jobs I've applied for, the uncertainty of if I will hear back, if I'll get an interview, if I'll even get a rejection letter. Thinking is this even enough? Have I applied to enough jobs today? Am I doing enough to try to get a job? What job do I really want? And like sometimes it feels wrong to want those things, to not want to sit at a desk and stare at a screen all day. And they look at me crazy, like I'm crazy when I say I don't want to sit all day and stare at a screen and just sit all day at the office and sit in my car to and from the office and get hemorrhoids and have to squeeze in like 10,000 steps in an hour before I have to work. Like, I want to get my movement throughout the day. Well, yeah, the job process occupies my mind, that occupies my time, and then also just hobbies and other interests. I've recently started to try to connect with art and creativity again, because I had been treating it like a reward that I wasn't deserving of, mainly, you know, because I don't have a job yet and all that stuff. And I made my list of the things that I like to do and are interested in doing, learning, and sometimes it overwhelms me because I'm like, I feel like I have to be masters of these things so then I could then monetize off of them. I guess it really is just like that hustle and capitalistic mindset that, you know, you need to make money off of everything. Clock is ticking, TikTok. Where are we even going though? TikTok to what? I really feel like that clock when it comes to YouTube and Substack and this pressure. I don't even know where this pressure is coming. Maybe I'm just like making it up, making life harder and more complex than it needs to be. Lately, when it comes to YouTube and Substack, I have been just posting intuitively. You know, I don't force myself. Like, every week you have to come out with something. Ideally, I would like to, like, at least on YouTube, if not every week, every other week. Substack, I really just don't try to force myself to write until something comes to me, and then I'm like, okay, catch that idea, write as much as you can. I just feel like there's just so much to juggle with my interests, and yeah, my subscriber count has gone up within the past few weeks because I had left a comment on someone else's video. It's like one of the top 3 comments, so I guess from that comment people, you know, looked on my channel and ended up subscribing, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to post every week because there's a bunch of new people now, or like. And the thing is, I do have ideas for Substack and YouTube. A lot of the times those cross together. Like, I'll write something on Substack and then I'll read it on YouTube. Like, I have ideas, I have my list. I just need more time, essentially, to really flesh out these ideas, to whether that is to write a whole thing for Substack or just to prepare some notes and bullet points before coming on YouTube and filming. This is where I am right now, and I just need some space and some time, some room to breathe and chill and relax. As of today, right now, I'm recording this. It is, what day is it? Where'd it go? It is Monday, August 24, I think. And we're still in that window in between eclipses. It's a pretty shaky, foggy window, and I'm holding on to my sanity. I was in a pretty deep funk, slump, depression for the past month or so, and I am coming out of that, slowly coming out of that. But as I felt like, as soon as I really felt the energy, or like the weight lifting. Also in my follicular phase and ovulation, I have, like, my energy is higher and I can really direct my energy outwards because of my luteal menstrual phases. I'm like, so yeah, I feel like the clock is also ticking because the window is like so small. It's like I got 2 weeks to really act on all these things, or, you know, high energy, fast paced. But then something in me is also like, slow down, one at a time, one thing at a time, task by task, day by day, step by step, breath by breath. And then there's the other part that's like, you have to do it all, you gotta be a machine, optimize yourself. I feel like I'm rambling on now, and like, yeah, this ended up being a lot longer than I thought it would be. I thought it would be like 2 minutes. But my timer up here is reading 20, so I'm just gonna end it here. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Thank you. You know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, save, share, repost. And I'll see you in my next video. Take care.